It's time once again for Uncle Matt's bedtime story.
Hang loose, dudes. Dude, my name's Matt, Uncle Matt, and I'm here to read you another bedtime story. And tonight's bedtime story is a surfing story. And it's not quite winter here, it's almost winter. There are people still surfing on the west coast of Vancouver Island, and it's cold. It's cold here. It's not like you're in Hawaii or Southern California, but people still do it. And that kind of reminds me of a summer day when I looked at this story. I thought, oh, this will be great to read today to kind of warm me up and to cheer me up. It's called Surfer Dog. Yeah. By Eric Walters and Eugenie Fernandes. And this story was copyright in, I think it's at the back, 2018. All right. It's pretty cool to see a dog surfing. I don't think I've seen that before. Maybe on TV or YouTube or something. Okay. The dog with one blue eye and one brown sat in the shade of a tree. He waited patiently. He knew from where the sun was in the sky that the boy would be there soon. On the busy road in front, roaring cars and trucks, quads and motorcycles, bikes and people all raced by. The dog's ears perked up. He heard the sound he was waiting for. He wagged his tail as the boy arrived. The dog and boy greeted each other. They had been friends for many months, and they counted on each other to be there. The boy gave the dog a scratch behind the ear before running into his home to change his clothes. It looks like he was at school. The boy returned in bare feet and a bathing suit, and he took a surfboard from its spot against the wall, strapped it on his scooter, and was ready to go. Well, almost. Come on, boy, he called. The dog jumped up onto the scooter, and they were off. The boy balanced the scooter while the dog balanced himself over the rough road. As they drove, people waved and called out. Everybody knew them, even if they didn't know them by name. They were the dog and the boy. The boy didn't own the dog, and the dog didn't own the boy. The boy didn't know if anybody owned the dog. He called the dog Boy, and the boy thought of him as Boy. They shared more than a name, though. That's why they were together. They bumped off the road through a patch of tangled trees and onto a path leading to the beach. There was a screeching in the trees, and the dog barked in reply. The path was even rougher than the road, but the boy and dog kept their balance. Beyond the beach, rolling waves barreled to the shore. The waves were why the boy and the dog were there. These waves were why all the surfers were there. The boy took his board, and he and the dog waded into the surf. They pushed through the waves until the water was deeper than the dog was tall. The boy scooped him up and placed him on the board. The waves rocked the board, but for the dog it was like balancing on the scooter. The boy lay on his belly as the dog moved to the front. The boy paddled, cutting through the waves. Once she reached out to steady the dog. Friends do that sometimes. They got out to the place where the other surfers were waiting. One wave passed by, then a second. The third was just right. The dog stood up and the boy paddled as hard as he could and jumped to his feet. They cut back and forth through the water, the boy moving his body and the dog steady on all fours. At the end of the ride, the wave crashed and washed over them, and they rolled into the surf. The boy found the dog and lifted him back onto the board. He gave his thanks by wagging his soaked tail and giving the boy a salty lick. 3 more times they paddled out, and 3 more times they surfed in. When they were finished, the boy paddled to shore, and the dog jumped off and onto the sand. "You play with your friends while I play with mine," the boy said. There were almost as many dogs on the beach as there were surfers in the water. The dog went and ran and played in the surf with the others. The boy went back out. This time he'd be looking for bigger waves. He loved surfing with the dog, but it was easier by himself. The boy surfed and the dog played, but each still watched out for the other. That's what friends do. As the sun set, they walked off the beach. The boy and the dog and the board rode home over the bumps and hills, perfectly balanced. The boy's mother greeted them at the driveway. "And how are my boys?" she asked. "We were surfing, so we're good. The 2 of you are just in time for supper." "The 2 of us?" The boy was confused. "You always gave him half of your meals, so I thought it was best to feed you both tonight." "But he's not our dog," the boy said. "He's here at supper time, and it would be rude not to feed him. Besides, he is your friend, and friends eat together." The boy sat down to eat. "Hey boy, surfing makes you hungry." Soon it would be time for the boy to go and start his homework. Soon it would be time for the dog to go wherever he went every night. "Maybe now I need to give you a name. How about Surfer Dog?" The dog wagged his tail. He liked that name. "And my name is Sammy." The boy didn't own the dog, and the dog didn't own the boy, but they were friends, surfer friends. Well, you can see here in this picture, the dog, Surfer Dog, is running off. So Sammy's saying goodbye, dog's running off, dog's running to wherever. It doesn't really say. But I'm sure the next day, they will get together and go surfing once again. Well, that's all the time we have for Uncle Matt's bedtime story. I hope you enjoyed that story, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.